Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In our last video, we talked about the Wisconsin state and we have gone through the process of how to file the monthly sales tax return for the Wisconsin state. Today, we are gonna do another state, which is a Washington state. But before we move to the filing and start filing the return, I would request all of you to do subscribe my channel and hit the bell icon to stay updated with the latest information. So you can see on my screen the spreadsheet. The process is still same. I'm following the same pattern which I used to follow for all my filings. I'm pulling out the counties and then the tax rate as well. Now, for the Washington one, there are some important things. Before we move to the portal, I would like to highlight few important things. Now, if you see here, I have a small table here, a sort of a table here. This is my pivot table. It highlights all the counties and cities which have the taxable sales. And here I have another table here which states the gross sales, the exempt sales, and the taxable sale. So, and this is the retail tax, this is the total tax that I have collected. Now in a Washington, in while filing the Washington state, you have to pay another tax which is called business and occupation tax. It is only for the Washington, by the way. So what is business and occupation tax? This is a tax that the Washington state charges on the gross receipts of your business. A tax on the gross receipts. So what do you mean by this is that normally we pay the tax only on the taxable sales, right? For each state, if you review, if you see the past videos, we have paid the tax only on the taxable sales. But for this particular state, we have to pay the tax on the non-taxable sales as well, and that tax is known as the business and occupation tax. So this is the tax that you need to pay on your total revenue, regardless if it's taxable or it's non-taxable. The rate is different for each of the different categories, but you have to pay this. Now when I talk about the, if you notice here, I have a B and O tax here. For the retail one, I have this tax, right? And for the service, I have this. Now the service includes any professional service, right? Any professional service, and the retail is the retail tax, retail sales, right? So for the percentage for the business and occupation tax, if it's retail, you will have to pay 0.471 percentage, 0.417 percentage. If you have a retail sales, like here you can see that the total tax that I'm gonna paying on my taxable sales as a business and occupation tax, it's 0.471 percentage. And if the services, if the sales that are service related sales, then you are gonna pay 1.5 percentage of your sales that relates to the service. Like here you can see these sales are my service sales and these are my retailing sales, right? And then this is my total tax. So for the Washington one, you have to pay two taxes. The first one is the excise tax or the sales tax, and the other tax is the business and occupation tax. Now let's go to the portal and see how we can report these sales and how we gonna file the return. So I am on the portal now, you can see here. So I'm going to click file return. The due date for the Washington return is 25th of the following month. So since 25th is falling on the weekend, so we have a 27th as a due date here. I will click file return. By the way, if you want to request a return extension, you can apply through this. If you are not ready to file your return, you can request for the return extension, and normally they do give the extension if the reason is valid. So I will click file return. Now here you will see different options. If you see here, if you there is no sales and there's no business in a particular month, you can just click this one. If you have a file, if you want to upload a template, they have a predefined template which you can use for your filing purpose. So you can upload a file here, and then you can do in a way like whatever works for you. So but I'm going to do this manually, so click next. So now this is business and occupation. Now here you have to input all those sales which are retailing sales. So in my case, I have these as a retail sales. I will click this. These are my total retailing tax, and I will retailing sales, and I'll get the tax due here. So if you see, I have got the 121.17. This is what I have on my report. Then the services and other activities. Now here you have to include all those sales which are service related activities. Now service related could be consultancy services, professional services, any sort of services that you have provided. So now I will click next. Sometimes it do give you a business credit if there's a criteria internal to the system. The credit shows here. Now here you can see I have the state sales and use, so my total retail sales are this. Now if you have a deductions, uh, because I don't have any deductions, if you have some deductions in the retail sales, you can add those deductions here. You have to choose from here the options that why which what is the reason of your deductions. You can choose any of these. Like for example, if you have sales which are wholesale sales, you can just apply the wholesale sales. If you are selling to the US government, the counties and the political subdivisions of US government, you can click this one while claiming the deduction. So you can use any of these options. If you have any deductions, you can choose based off these. Sometimes you get direct pay permits where the buyer provides you a certificate that they are going to pay the tax directly to the department. But right now I don't have any deductions related to these, so I'm going to don't select any of these options. So this is my total tax for the state only. I have to fill the counties and cities as well. My total tax for the state is this. So 1672.17, and then I will click next. Now here I have to put the counties and cities taxes here, and I will use the my pivot table which I have here. So this is my first. I will put my taxable cells here. Then I'll click this one. So this is how you have to input the sales. And if you don't want to do this manually, you will have to do you can do this through a predefined template which I have told you in the earlier steps. Spoken city in the Spoken county. I will put here Jefferson County. So these are my finished now. Now if you see here, my total sales which I have included in my retail sales amount, and these are matching. If there's a difference, you will get the difference here, and the system will not allow you to click next. One thing. Second thing, if you find any county which is not in this list, so you can add that county or that city by going into this add locations. So I'm going to click now. This is my total text, the total local text. My total state tax is this, and my total local tax is this. Let me just sum it up. So if you see, I have a total of 2427.92, and here I am getting 2425.60. So there is a difference of less than $2, which is immaterial, and I'm not gonna investigate that difference, right? So I'm gonna click next. Here is the total summary, the total business and occupation tax on your retail sales, on your services. Then this is the local tax, this is the state sales. Now here I need to input my information, my name, my number, and my email address. And I will click next, and then it will ask me to submit the return. After I submit the return, it will ask me to populate the payment information, and once I populate the payment information, I will just need to click submit, and the payment will be submitted. So this is how you can file the Washington sales tax return, monthly sales tax return. The name of this return is excise tax return. So Washington is one of the state which is a little bit complicated. Also, it when it comes to the not only the filing but also when it comes to the audit. So always file carefully. Always file Washington return carefully, because when it comes to audit, they ask you every information, every invoice, every certificate, and they will ask you the reason that why you are claiming this as a non-taxable sales, because most of the items in Washington are taxable. 90% items in Washington are taxable, only 10% are those which are non-taxable. So I hope this video is informative for you. If you have any questions, any comments, any suggestions, do let me know in the comment box. Thank you very much.